Hey everyone, so in today's video I am back with a speed review style video. I'm essentially going to be speed reviewing a bunch of newer favorites to me, products that I've been recently trying out that I really love. And most of these are actually newer releases, which is very promising. And honestly, I've been trying out a ton of new makeup recently, and this is only like the tip of the iceberg as far as new makeup that I've tried. I hope you enjoy the video. If you enjoy the demos, the swatches, all that good stuff, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. First Speed Review is actually the sponsor of this video, which I think a lot of you guys are familiar with them because I've worked with them in the past. And this is really partially an update for you all to my tretinoin prescription from Dermatica. So essentially, I do have a personalized prescription from Dermatica for my tretinoin. So there are a lot of like skincare items that come and go, but as far as something that is incredibly consistent, evidence-based, which again, you guys know, I'm very much a gold standard, what stands the test of time kind of person as far as product recommendations, especially when you're dealing with actives. I think going with like gold standard research back ingredients is where my preference leans and what I recommend to you all. So I've tried out a bunch of different strengths, but this is the most potent one that I've had, and it is tretinoin 0.05% and niacinamide 4%. You get to work with the dermatology team at Dermatica, and they will create a specific skincare formula for you. What's different about them is that these are evidence-based prescription strength formulas. I use my tretinoin and niacinamide treatment about twice a week, and we talked about this before on my channel, but tretinoin really is the gold standard as far as an anti-aging treatment. It has such a wide range of highly regarded research behind it, which is why it is the ingredient that I choose when I am, taking control of my anti-aging skin journey. I just use one pump, dot it on my face, and then apply, and I'm done. What I have been the most excited about as far as my results are is that tretinoin just has this way of giving your skin such a refined look. So any fine lines are softened, but what I've particularly noticed is, especially like in this area, like I have more visible pores in here, and whenever I use my prescription, I just notice like everything looks softer, and it just has this, my skin has this general brighter, more refined look that I really enjoy. But I do want to emphasize they have custom formulas for a lot of different skin concerns. So they'll work with you and figure out like the actual best ingredients that will work best for your concern, which is really great. By the way, if you use my code AmandaZ, you can get your first month for $4.99, which is great. And they send your formula straight to your door. So I'll make sure to leave links down below. Make sure to use my code if you guys want to try it out for yourself. And speaking of skin, I've received so many comments recently asking me to try out the About Face, the Performer Skin Focused Foundation. I mean, I initially heard this release, but I didn't realize that it was kind of gaining traction and hype. I've heard a lot of people really enjoy it because the line has olive undertones within the shades, so I think that's great. But I have the shade L1 Neutral, and I've been trying it out. Gotta tell you, $22 for a foundation of this caliber, I think is pretty insane. So it actually comes with a doe foot as far as application goes, which I know people will be torn about. This foundation, I don't know if anyone's made this comparison yet. I really try not to watch reviews of products before I come out with my review. Sometimes it's inevitable. But again, I'm not sure if this comparison's been made. I think that this is the product that everyone thought the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter was going to be years ago, like when it first came out. Like, this is what I expected that item to be. Now, the Charlotte Tilbury does not have much coverage. I know some folks still like to use it all over the face because there is like a little bit of pigment. This is what I wanted that to be when I initially tried it. Now that I understand the Flawless Filter, for me, it's like the most natural looking liquid highlight that you will find, especially for over top of makeup. That's my favorite way of applying it. But if you want a true thin on the skin foundation that looks like it has that natural kind of filtered look, this is it. It almost feels like a thin foundation with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter already mixed into it. So, which brings me to, if that is what you are doing currently in your makeup routine, you have a foundation, you apply the Flawless Filter over it and you go on with your day, this like simplifies that routine. So if you're a fan of a thinner foundation that looks like it has like a glow lotion mixed in and you don't mind a more light to medium coverage, I do think you can build this up. If that's what you're going for, I say run, don't walk, because this is a very impressive product for that reason. Typically, these kind of glowy products that have mica mixed in or a luminosity that is from mica rather than like a natural emollient kind of glow, typically those products don't work for me. This one does. It has a little bit of a filtering quality. The silicones in here work really well to also offer a bit of a filtered effect. So I want to come out and say that I do really like this one. It's what is on my skin today. Most of the products on my skin today are what I'm going to be talking about. This is a very good one. And I'm really happy about it, honestly. I also have a new concealer favorite, if you guys can believe it. I'll talk about that in a second, but lip plumpers. This is a new product from NYX. It is the Duck Plump, and I have mine in the shade Clearly Spicy. When I pull it out on the doe foot though, it is kind of like orange. Nothing that you can really see once it's on the lips, but I figured I'd let you guys know that. It does come in a variety of shades. After trying this, I'm particularly interested in how the pigments work on the lips. I wanted to try this as a true blue plumper though. I'm very picky with my lip plumpers and I am planning on doing like this big overview of a ton of lip plumpers, especially me being someone with smaller lips. I always feel like my reviews become particularly helpful, but I gotta tell you, this Duck Plump from NYX is something really special. Number one, I gotta tell you, I don't like the name. I don't like the name. I think it's a little corny, but oh well. Two main things that I think make this product pretty special. One is the texture. This has more of a gel texture to it. It goes onto the lips like a thicker gel serum. So you're not left with a really sticky finish, especially if you're someone that doesn't like lip glosses, but you like a plumper look to your lips. This is something really special texturally. It honestly is one of the more unique textures that I've tried in a lip product like in my entire life. I wish I had a color to compare this to because the gel is a little bit thicker. It still gives you this ultra glass-like glossy finish. So the lips will look bigger just from the illusion, like it'll fill in all of your lip lines, etc. However, this is intense. This is a very intense plumper, but it's not intense the way like the Too Faced lip injection is. That one I find very, very irritating to the point where it looks like my lips are like burned, like not well. Like I don't look well when I apply that product. However, this gives me the most intense tingle that I can tolerate and my lips can actually tolerate. I think it's in due part because of this texture. It's not super serumy and thin like a lot of lip plumpers were leaning towards. Like, again, I think the texture is very unique, but also, yes, it will really sting, but if you are someone that hates the smell of lip plumpers, yes, this has a strong tingle, but it smells like those like ginger candies or like a sweet ginger smell. And then when it's on the lips, it feels gingery, which I haven't really experienced out of some other lip plumpers. I find it very unique. I don't know, it's kind of like a ginger beer smell rather than really chemically and tasting awful. Now, I will say if you lick your lips while you have this on, like your tongue is going to tingle. It's not going to be like the most pleasant experience. But as far as a lip plumper that I can recommend to you all, even ahead of my overall like huge video that I'm planning, this is a really, really good one. And it continues to tingle, like I would say, for at least 20 minutes. So again, if you want a long-lasting tingle, this is it. If you want something very subtle, this is probably not your best bet. And I do have other options for that. Next up, let's talk about the new Lip Softy treatment from Tower 28. Now, I got mine in the shade Ube Vanilla, and of course, I like bought this and was trying it out, and like they literally just, like I just got the package. I think pretty sure they sent them to me. They come in a variety of shades. This is the shade that I was like, these kind of like blackened cherry brown shades, they call to me. And actually, this is what I am wearing on my lips. It's kind of worn off a little bit now, but Ube Vanilla. They chose a good scent, which again, really decadent vanilla scent with a pretty perfect shade. And by the way, if you thought that my lips looked bigger than usual, it's because I used this as the prep product for my lip look today. So that's my favorite way to use lip plumpers, is applying them at the beginning of my routine and then by the end getting the plump look and then going in with like another lip color. Every brand is coming out with their own lip treatment nowadays, and I was really interested in seeing what Tower 28 would do with their lip formula. Now, right off the bat, not my favorite applicator. It is that more like classic kind of 90s rounded tip. I don't think it's bad, but I do prefer a slant just because I think it's a little bit more precise. What I find particularly nice about these, they have this really nice glide and a balminess to them without being a very oily product. Now, more slippy lip products or thin lip products, I would consider this to be a relatively thin formula. Typically, they're accompanied with a very kind of oily texture that I am not a fan of. Sometimes oils in lip products, they feel like they're getting outside the lip lines, or it just makes me feel like they're getting smudgy on the lips and don't really offer a long-lasting comfort. To me, this is one of the first thinner lip products that still feels substantial to me. I'm able to get like this really pretty my lips but better kind of lip look. Like it's shiny, but it's not distractingly thick shiny, which, you know, it depends on what I want to go for. Sometimes I love that glassy, glossy look. Other times I just want something that is going to make my lips feel comforted, have a little bit of volume, but not be like an overly glossy, glossy look. It kind of goes down to this wash of color, like there's a nice translucence to it. I prefer this to like these Summer Fridays, for example, the Summer Fridays lip butter balms. I do feel like it gives my lips the comfort that they're looking for when it's very dry outside. I'm gonna call this just a really stable, good, everyday lip product. Like if you can find a shade you really like and you want that really nice middle of the road lip treatment, relatively thin, so you're not worried about like your lips getting attached to the lip balm. If you are a fan of like that really middle of the road pretty lip formula, I think these are really nice. Now let's talk about the concealer favorite. It's kind of blowing me away. In the last year, like the last 365 days, this is now the third concealer that I've found that I really like. And I think that is a testament to concealer formulas becoming the best that they've ever been. It's like, what is the clip? Like, capitalism really popped off today, ladies. Because the market is so saturated, brands really do have to step up, and I think like I feel them stepping up as far as formulas go and concealers go. The Kosas Revealer concealer, the Tower 28 Swipe concealer, that is like a holy grail for me now. The Tarte Creamy concealer is another favorite, and now to the list I can add the new Estee Lauder Futurist Soft Touch Brightening Concealer. This is really good. It is the concealer that I'm wearing under my eyes today, and I have the shade 1N. What is really beautiful about this concealer is it's very thin and very skin-like, and it has this kind of self-setting quality, beautiful radiance to it. So one thing that I do wish would change about this, there is one thing, and it's the applicator. It's like this really, really rounded doe foot that to me doesn't really make much sense. I love a paddle applicator. I'll stand by that. I think a paddle applicator gets the concealer on in a very even coat, and I think that that's way more important than a fancy doe foot. If you are a fan of a thinner concealer and a more brightening concealer that will not exaggerate any of the tear troughs or hollows that you have under your eyes, look no further. This is what I wanted the Rare Beauty eye brightener to be. Incredibly thin. Like, I can even see this layering beautifully over concealers as like that final brightening touch. Because it's so thin, it just gets along really well with the other products that you have going on. If you're a fan of, again, very thin makeup, you don't like a thicker concealer under the eyes, like your preference is, I don't want to really be able to feel it, this is a really, really good option. I do have trouble figuring out the pigmentation of this product. I think it's a little bit less than medium coverage. It's not quite light, but a little bit less than medium. We'll go with that. I know you're out there if you like a glowy, brightened look under your eyes, but you're not a fan of these more emollient, thick concealers. I say look no further. This is a really good one. I don't think anyone is talking about it either, which I don't know what to say. I feel good. I feel like this is a little, I don't know, hidden gem. Well, is it really a hidden gem if it just released? I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say is more people should talk about it. Next up, this was one of the first new products that I tried out this year, which is the Base Face Milk from Ilia. Since I tried it, the Road Glazing Milk has been an absolute favorite. And I gotta tell you, I still absolutely love that product and will continue to use it. It is really, really good. If you want something even thicker and even more luxurious, look no further. This is the bounciest like skin milk that I've maybe ever used. It feels so plush on the skin. If my skin is feeling dry, a couple layers of this right before I do my makeup, it's like, it's got me covered. The comfort of this, the bouncy, luxurious texture, it kind of glides on the skin in, again, a very supple way. It is incredibly, it really is just very, very luxurious. I consistently feel like when I'm using this as a prep product to my makeup is looking really, really good. I can't really imagine this not being in Best of Beauty for 2024. Like, even looking at the end of the year, I'm like, it has to be. It's really that good. This mini palette from Rabon is the date night mini palette. It is literally the easiest date night eye look that you could ever come up with. This is such a good duo. They have a bunch of different color stories. This one spoke to me because you guys know how much I love like a bronze. Like, this kind of smoky bronze shade as a one and done usually always hits. But I love that there's also this highlight that you can use like right in the middle of the eye. That's what I did today. These feel like a pressed version, like a very densely pressed version of the Hourglass Scattered Lights. So if you're a fan of those, I have a feeling you're really gonna love these because they go onto the eyes so thinly, but they reflect so beautifully, and then they wash out in that beautiful, elegant, thin powder texture way. Like, what I love about a texture like this is when you press down the pigments, but you still offer enough translucence to them, when they wash out over the eyes, they kind of create this like creamy effect. Like, it looks like cream even though it's not a cream. It kind of like lets the skin warm up with it. It's a very, very pretty look. For me, this is so close to being like a perfect one and done. Because it's one unit, I'm gonna call it like a one and done, but here's the thing. Sometimes you're willing to do just a little bit more in your eye routine, And this is such a great product exactly for that. Very portable, beautiful mirror. I noticed that when I was trying out a bunch of Rabon, the mirrors are very high quality and the formulas themselves are of incredible quality. So this is my new kind of like one and done eyeshadow look as of recent. I'm not gonna do a full review, but I did already try this out on my channel. Oh my god, no! The eyeshadow just came straight out. How did that happen? You guys, I had like finished up filming. I was exporting my footage onto my computer. I was ready to get editing. And I realized when I dropped this and the one broke, crumb of eyeshadow just like was sitting on my lips for a while. I don't even know what I was quite saying. I'm a fan of this palette. I'm also a fan of the duo. But the last product that I wanted to quickly review for you all is the Precisely My Brow Wax from Benefit. This is a newer launch. I have been finding that this is the last step in my brow routine that has been adding just that little bit of bushiness that sometimes I want. If you do like a pomade, but you want one that's kind of workable rather than like a really, I don't know, astringent or like very inflexible hold, I think that you could be a big fan of this. I like the wand too because there's this kind of curved edge to it that kind of whispers the product over the brows and it kind of adds this more diffused color. Or you could use the straight part on the other end. Like this is going to give you a little bit more heavy pigment. Really well thought out in my opinion. It's a sculpting brow wax, but for me it's not too waxy, it's not too heavy in the brows. And I do find that it does a decent job of really filling them in. So if I want like a quick one-step brow routine, like this is a really good option for that. Typically, if I'm coming on camera, I do like to do a little bit of more precision work with a pencil. But I did want to mention, I typically don't like a colored pomade too much, but this one has really been treating me well, so I figured I would let you all know. And that is everything. Listen, I know I'm not great at speed reviews. I think this speed review video was kind of a testament to that. Please don't roast me. I just get really excited about products and then I can't really shut up. But I will leave all the products I talked about in today's video down below. I'm really excited about just the makeup landscape going into this year. I've already found a lot of products that I really enjoy. And if you guys did want to get your first month of a personalized Dramatica prescription, you can using my code AmandaZ in the link down below. You can get it for $4.99. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely make sure to give me a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you all in my next one.